What's up guys, I am here with another video and today we're going to be taking an overview of AI news. Welcome to Digital Prompt. If you don't know who I am the owner of Digital Brain and Dr. Showman Studios, and I'm just going to bring to you the AI news. I love technology. Let's go ahead and talk about Adobe Max. Now Adobe Max showed a bunch of cool stuff here, and what's really cool about Adobe Max showing off some of the new AI tools is that they had this thing where you could just simply move a 3D object. But before we get to that, let's start with the edition news. So one of the first things they showed was this project blend, which I thought was pretty interesting. Let me show you a look. So you can put an image on this layer. It's kind of intuitive, really cool stuff here. What's really cool here too is that you can generate sort of like a variation.
Okay, very easy. Let's remove the background. Magic button for tonight, a harmonize button. When we click it, our harmonization model in the back end will help us to automatically adjust the lighting and color.
Now, the reason why this is kind of phenomenal is that the harmonize function model, basically, in a sense, think of it like this. It is pretty much a way to take any object, remove the background of it, and make it kind of applicable to the lighting and setting of that said photo or asset.
One more time to see how our model handles the non-perfect shot like this.
Wow. Wow.
That is phenomenal. Imagine being able to create high quality ads with just any type of photo. As you can see, Project Blend looks like one of my favorite parts of Adobe Max, hands down. Let's move on to the next thing that Adobe released. So what's cool about this next thing that I'm about to show you is a video model cleaning tool called Project Clean, or I think Project Clean Machine. And basically what it does is takes artifacts that don't look good for your video and literally makes them viable. So you know when you like sometimes shoot a photo that has I don't know, lens flares you don't want or unwanted extra flash, this is supposed to be able to take artifacts out, which I found very interesting. Check this out.
Some of the frame like this were ruined by flash. And if you take a closer look, the explosion of the firework completely overexposed the frame, and there's no way that you can use content verifier to fix this. Well, let's use Project Clean Machine. First detect, and then remove.
Wow.
All the flashes are gone.
That is phenomenal, guys. That is insane. Imagine how many great memories you have, or photos you have with family members or videos, but they're ruined because of overexposure artifacts or unwanted sun flares, or you know, things that can affect the lens of what you're capturing. So that is so cool. Clean Machine is without a doubt one of the coolest things that Adobe Max also revealed. All right, so this one's called Project Hi-Fi by Adobe Max. I don't know, this is what they revealed at their conference. Let's see what they are talking about.
So with a simple prompt, bright pink empty living room with large windows, it reads the composition and uses the power of Adobe Firefly to create this captivating rendition of the design.
Interesting. Like, how good is it though? So
suppose I want to suggest adding a plan to the room that's native to the area. And in this document, I can just roughly paint within Photoshop to create my very own plan. So I can add a leaf on the top, maybe on the bottom. As you can see, I'm no Picasso, but it's hanging there. And we can add in something in the middle just to give it a little bit of something. And this is so nice because I can just paint with, say, color grade, and the technology can figure it out for me.
that's pretty interesting. I wonder, that's kind of weird, right? Imagine using a tool where you can just draw something imagine it, and the machine can kind of like depict it in real life, as you can see. So with hi-fi, I think that's pretty interesting for object creation in the simplest form possible. I think it'll be great for designers who are just trying to create mock-ups really quickly. All right, so now we're moving on to Project Know-How, which was also at Adobe Max. Let's check it out here. Pretty interesting, Project Know-How, because this one is going to be specifically trying to solve the problem of content theft. Now, Adobe going this route is kind of against what most internet users would be okay with. As a person who is also an original content creator and a content aggregator, meaning that I would take like content like Adobe and talk about it, or whatever type of videos I'm making. I make videos in all types of different formats. This could change the internet as we know it, but let's go ahead and check it out. So basically all they're doing is doing video fingerprinting, which is in photo fingerprinting, so that way no matter what, a piece of content, you'll always be able to identify the original content, even if someone alters it. So I do think that's good for the industry. Like if someone's just straight up stealing artwork, I do worry about people who do just repost like interview clips, or people who just do reaction videos. Hopefully there's, maybe the internet and the system will keep it to where we kind of solve that in legal battles between ourselves or whatever. We'll see though. Now let's talk about Project in Motion from Adobe Max. So this one's a little different. It's talking about how you can animate objects without necessarily knowing how to animate. And they decided to use these kind of line tools. Let's check it out for a moment.
Control. So here we have this path tool that will allow me to draw some simple passes. So for example, I want this hole to move like this. And maybe this sharp tip of the pen will go like this. And maybe one more. And let's apply the result. All right, so here will be the final morphing. That's fully under your control.
So that is pretty cool, being able to just use line paths. Now I know that Canva has something pretty similar. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Canva, but they basically have this tool I can show you on the screen that allows you to do like these magic animations. Pretty simple, you're just drawing paths. It's not that great, but it get the job done for the most part. It looks like an evolution of that. It looks like you can do more precision control, but nonetheless, it will never be the same as actually animating something. Now, I do know how to animate. I use tools like a Light Motion, if you haven't heard of it. So I am familiar with animation tools, Blender, stuff like that. But I do think this will be great for beginners, and then they start here and then they will get more used to it and they'll feel like they have the ability to do so. So I think it's a win-win for the industry nonetheless. I'd say Project in Motion's probably one of my favorite ones. All right, so we're back and we're checking out Project Turntable. Now this one is the one that shocked me the most. I love animation, like I just said before, and I just figured I'd have to follow up with this one next because it will be game-changing for you animators like myself that love to use a blend of 2D and 3D. I could think to this amazing animation where this guy created kind of sort of a 2D 3D animation in Blender, and to see that with Adobe, it will make it easier for me to export assets between Adobe and other platforms and things of this nature. So this will be super fun, especially for those animators that don't want to have to draw objects over and over again. So without further ado, let's check it out.
And the warrior. Now I want a warrior to fight a dragon. But I suddenly realized that the warrior is looking at the wrong direction. The warrior should be looking at the dragon, right? So I have to turn the warrior around to face the dragon. But you see, it's a 2D vector shape. And I cannot just turn it around. Now, normally, I'll have to redraw the entire shape, which is going to take a lot of time. But here, let me show you our new tool. I'll just need to select the shape and click this Generative Views button. And then I can just rotate the shape by simply dragging the slider.
Imagine being able to take this this 3D vector object and then move this in a platform like Blender and then add a 3D layer behind it, or it would just be so awesome, because there's shows like Code Lyoko that do a mix of that. I don't know, it's an old school one, I loved it. But just imagine being able to do this, and you can do this with the other objects as well. It's not just...
That's it. That's it.
This is a game changer, I think, for saving artist time per character. So I do think this is a big one that Adobe is doing, and I'm sure other platforms and other AI tools, filmmakers or film AI editing tools are looking at, because that could be huge. Now, Project Scenic was probably my least favorite reveal, and not because I don't think it's cool, but I feel like these other more useful tools like Blender that already have large communities and libraries of assets that we can pull from, like Unreal Engine, they're going to create an object. Now, I understand Adobe trying to improve their ecosystem, because there's some artists that just don't leave the Adobe ecosystem for any reason, because they just use those tools and they have no interest in other tools. But I do think that this is already going to be better done. Of course, I love the innovation, but it's basically Blender, but you can generate 3D objects in it, and I think that's cool. Like I said, it's pretty cool.
.3D objects and then assemble them into a 3D scene within a few seconds. Let's wait for the result. Yeah, great. This is and type in. So this to have the best view. Stand out. I can.
So as you can see, it's pretty much just like a Blender clone. Nothing wrong with it. I think it's cool, but it didn't wow me at all. The next one we're going to talk about is Adobe revealing a new tool called Project Remix-a-Lot. So you basically, the idea is that you can take random objects that you create, like drawings or whatever, and turn them into actual generated flyers, and then you can also prompt the tool to make it in different formats and layouts per social media, whatever you need, ads, whatever. So let's check it out.
Edge got converted to this layout. Pretty great start, right? And the best part, it's completely editable.
So as you can see here,
Sketch to layout.
again, it just started off with a drawing, and then it will even, you can prompt it to even create multiple formats. So I think that's a cool thing. It'll save a lot of people time who don't have time to create flyers, and it's definitely going to make it to where I feel like there's going to be people who are like kind of scared, right? They're scared that like people who create greeting cards and flyers on like Fiverr or Upwork are going to lose money. They don't already make that much anyway. And another thing too is Adobe Creative Cloud and Suite still costs money. So only the people who can afford to pay for Adobe they'll probably make so much money using this tool if they decide to get it and then just mass create greeting cards for people or whatever, or flyers for people who don't have Adobe and can't pay for the subscription or don't want to. They'd rather just go to someone who's a designer and pay them because they have the AI tool, but they know they can make it in seconds because they're using AI. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see how the freelance market changes and adapts to these tools. Also, before we get to the last project, I did want to mention that Adobe did reveal with Project Perfect Blend that there was a way to actually add in clips of videos generated by AI if you want to make a clip longer, but you wanted it to still blend in with the overall theme or what your video looks like. Now you can put in different bits there. So I think that's pretty interesting as well. But let's move on to the last thing that was revealed, and one of the coolest ones as well for SFX or special effects is Project Supersonic.
Okay, go here and type in forest ambience and hit wait, I'm gonna bring this over. Well, let me do this again. Bring the cursor to the right place. Now let's do this. Forest, ambience, and I'm gonna hit generate. And now this is going to be calling our text to sound effects Gen AI model that's gonna be generating audio on the fly in full 48 kilohertz sample rate. And it will, once it's finished generating, it's gonna place it right in the timeline for me to audition alongside the video. And there we go.
Now this is going to be phenomenal for those faceless radio live stream channels. So for people who had trouble with like getting these types of videos together, they can just generate one. So it'd be super easy to just create and deploy these and put them out there. But the question is, will we become like a bot internet because everyone's going to have a digital assets that are making them some sort of money that's consumed? It's interesting because everything's democratized in a weird way. But check this out. They even generated a spaceship. So for those of you who want to just listen to those type of channels, you're good. But check this out. It even syncs audio with the generated objects in video as well.
Sounds like a forest to me, huh?
All right. Spaceship that's taking off from another part of the forest in front of a waterfall. So I've already generated the sound of the waterfall. Let's check out what I have so far. All right, now of course I want to add a sound for the spaceship, but I'm kind of out of ideas. But no worries, because Project Supersonic is also an inspiration machine. I can hit subject selection, and it is going to recognize, give it a couple seconds to do its thing. All right. Well, spaceship isn't coming up, but it recognizes the spaceship as my subject, so now I can hover over it, and when I click on the spaceship, it's going to write a prompt for me. There we go. Check it out. We get a spaceship taking off from a forest planet. Sound effect in seconds. And give it another second to do its magic. We get one result. All right, land in an alien planet. Top, are we ready for our spaceship? All right, here we go.
Pretty interesting, right? Awesome stuff. I have the links down below if you want to go check out these videos. And now we're moving on to the next subject. Today in some more tech news, YouTube, yes, YouTube is releasing a Shorts update. So we're going to go through some of the updates that they have for Shorts, but also what the most notable one is that they're going to start making videos over 3 minutes. So here, starting October 15th, which is already passed, they have made Shorts up to 3 minutes. What's also cool is that now you can create templates on YouTube, which is similar to what Instagram Reels is also doing. And of course, you know, some of these other platforms like CapCut and TikTok are allowing you to create templates. So it's about time Shorts allows you to do it. The question is, will they have a program for you to make money with templates like TikTok, and I think Instagram allows you to too. I'm not sure. Let's keep moving on. Now we can check out all there's a UI now in Shorts where it will just pop up over the video when you pause it, which is really awesome. I think that was a really neat UI change, like to be able to just explore the YouTube Shorts and not leave, you know, the Shorts tab if you want to stay on that, because that's the type of viewer you are. That's pretty convenient. There's also trend hacking, just being able to look at trends, and I think this feature is also cool. Like, you can show fewer shorts now. So YouTube's making updates that are like great for the users. So yeah, overall I think YouTube's doing well. They also have a TikTok shop type competitor. Let's see if YouTube can really grab the short form community like Instagram and TikTok really did. YouTube is just too ingrained with long form, but it's doing the best it can. Now let's move on to more AI news. With more AI news, it's looking like Amazon's entered the arena with their own AI generator tool that allows you to create audio ads, which is interesting. So this is just a close-up look at what it's going to look like. So I know it looks kind of bare bones. It doesn't look that great, but it can generate, you know, different types of product ads and stuff like that. Depends on what you're looking for. Not my cup of tea. I think Amazon's kind of getting far behind in the commerce space. They're, you know, TikTok Shop, Temu, and some of these other platforms are starting to innovate. So we'll see what happens there. Also, in another bit of news, ChatGPT is now allowing Windows users to have an app. So, you know, before you could only get it on Mac, but now you can use ChatGPT on Windows. So I will be downloading that here soon. Another update is that Suno, and this is a quick one, has introduced video and photo album art generator called Suno Scenes or something like that. So go check that out. I think that's pretty cool. It's going to allow people to create canvas, like kind of like Spotify's canvas, except now you have a generator they're already doing and you can just throw it in your Spotify or whatever, or Apple. Kind of useless, but hey, you know, kind of cool. In more news today, I'm going to show you this cool tool that I've been liking, and it's called Krea.io. What's really cool about Krea.io is that it puts a bunch of different like models in one. So if you click generate here, you can literally just click generate a picture, random prompt, whatever. I don't know if you guys can see it on my screen. So you can generate a photo, but what's really cool here is that it also has Luma Labs and a bunch of other tools implemented now. So if you go down to this generation model tool here for video, if you go to this tool, you can click on it and bam, you can just literally type in something and start from frame to frame. I think for $10 a month to get all those models with a few images and videos is pretty cool. So I think overall the highest plan is $60 a month, but I think to get all of those nice video generation tools all in one, that's really cool. See here, if I go over here to the side, you can actually see here, if I go over to the side, you can actually see all of the models, which is really, really neat. They got Pika, they got Halul, Kling. The only ones I know is Luma, Runway, and Pika. So these are all awesome models, but for that price, I think that this is a great value for people who use these type of tools. Now, here's another cool tool. It's called Super Studio. It's basically, in my opinion, like a easy board view. Think Melanote, but it's for AI generating scenes and things of that nature. You can pick different models that you want to use all in one. It's kind of like Canva with the ease of use. You could drag and drop and stuff like that, but it kind of reminds me of a Figma as well. It's like a play between those two. So to check this out, here it is. So as you can see, like I said, here's Luma. You can pull out that model, you can start a new flow and pick different models like Video Lab and just play around, create different scenes, you know, just upload what you want to upload, references, change your prompts, and map it all out here. And I imagine as, you know, AI filmmaking gets pretty huge, this Super Studio will see large growth and more people will be using a tool like this. With that being said, that is all for today's AI news. By the way, I have a tool down below, so check out my Notion template. As I mentioned also in the video before, check out my Notion template. I'm gonna have a bunch of prompts that you can use for some of these AI tools I've talked about, including Luma Labs, Pika, and actually showing you a little bit of how I built a kids channel just using Pika and some Midjourney images and something like Runway to actually animate my images and put them together. And I use Suno to create my kids' songs. So you could do a lot there. Shout out to Mine's Guide as well. Super sorry about what happened to you with the YouTuber named Danny Gonzalez. I think he put some misinformation about her out there as well, about because she makes videos about AI tools like myself. And I just want to say that Mon's Guide, her content is specifically for helping other creators grow. And it doesn't matter if someone doesn't have the ability to do it on their own. Maybe AI tools bridges that gap for people who are just not that artistically inclined, that want to do creative stuff but just don't know how to do it. For some people just don't have a creative brain to do certain things. And I think AI bridges that gap to allow everyone to participate, not only in the creator economy, but to just be more creative with themselves. So I think that Danny Gonzalez's video was I think putting Mon's Guide in there as a target was just a half truth and very misguided on his end. And hopefully everything's good. Like I said, she's one of the AI tools creators that really inspires me. So go check out her channel down below. But again, go check out my Notion template down below. It's free. Just sign up. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Jungle Prop. Peace.